Hey there guys, I'm MKJR and these are the Bluedio T5s, a pair of super cheap noise cancelling headphones. So, for only 30 bucks, you want to know if they sound any good, and if they do, if they're worth its price. So let's take a look. Now, first impressions for the Bluedio T5s on the unboxing is very positive. These things feel very solid. They have metal arms and a metal headband, and the tension on them is thick and full. The whole time when I held them felt premium. It felt impressive. The leather feels nice and soft and supple. It feels like protein leather, artificial, but it doesn't feel like a cheap plastic vinyl that has a coating that imitates leather. It feels more like the real deal. And also, another impression was all the buttons it had. So you have all these cheap plastic buttons. I mean, they're buttons, they're not touchpads, so I trust them to work. They are positioned ever so weirdly, like it's never intuitive to use the things. You're trying to go out here, and you always feel like you have this little claw grip, which never feels that natural to me. It never feels like it's just intuitive. I always try to flip my hand in the wrong direction. So the placement of the buttons are a little non-intuitive. They may better suit you than they do for me, but for me, I never liked them that much. With the button for the noise canceling being thick as hell. When you put them on though, the headband's flat, so it feels good. There's no piercing on the top of the head, which is good. The cups don't actually necessarily completely surround my ears. I have larger ears than normal, and while it may look like my ears aren't touching the inner walls, they are. But thankfully these things have no tension at all. I mean, no tension. Absolutely no tension. Great for comfort, great for long periods of sessions. You use for headphones like these, they're not going to be that uncomfortable. For working out, absolutely awful. Don't even think about it. So some additional features you got in the box, you'll notice immediately it's USB-C, and it does come with a carrying pouch, which actually, unfortunately, doesn't fit these things when they're ratcheted to my head size. They only work if you ratchet them all the way down, and only then they fit in their carrying pouch, which can be a little annoying if you don't really remember exactly what number on each side your head is. Continuing on the build quality, comfort is necessarily hand in hand. These, they're fine. When you first put them on, you feel like, yeah, I can wear these for a few hours. And for me, after an hour or two, I have to take a break. Just because, since it rests against your ear inside, it doesn't ever feel that nice where you're going to forget about it. You'll forget about it for, I don't know, 30 minutes to an hour at most, which is good. I mean, there's headphones around this price that are absolutely awful, that are not comfortable at all. These are better than that. These are passable for comfort. So that's a plus at this price. So let's head on to one of the most important things of these headphones, which is sound quality. Now, these never sound tinny or cheap. They never distorted at max volume. They never broke, which is impressive at this price. But it's a faint praise, really, because no headphone really should. These have more of a movie theater-like soundstage. Like, in a movie theater, a lot of times, the vocals are hard to hear as they have this kind of always thick bassiness to them. To always give you that sense of quality and theatrics. These copy that. They're not the best at bass, they don't head shake like Skull Candies or some Sonys. They're not that good, but they always thump, they always feel well. They don't really do too well with very fast-paced music where it really tests them, especially with mids and highs. It will be a little muddy and it will lose a lot of detail. These aren't that good for that detail. However, for bassy headphones, you can still hear the vocals pretty well. Like, you're not going to watch a video with background music with some bass going on and not being able to distinguish what they're saying, which for a pair of cheap, bassy-ish headphones is, again, that's good, that's solid. It's a good thing about these. Now, for the most interesting part about these things, noise canceling. And 30 bucks. Noise canceling. How bad can it be? if they just worked and didn't affect the headphones at all, that'd be more than expected. And when you turn them on, the noise canceling, that is, which is additional, you can turn it on and off with the headphones. You can have the headphones on without the noise canceling, or with the noise canceling. Great feature. You're going to use that if you have these because of this reason. When you turn on the noise canceling, these sound awful. They sound like everything's 5 feet away all of a sudden. Like you're listening to speakers in a different room, not on your ears. And that's very unfortunate. Honestly, the noise canceling is so bad, I'd only ever have it on if you're listening to something like an audiobook, or if you absolutely need to have some noise isolation for a noisy environment, but these won't do that good of a job for that. The noise canceling on these things, unfortunately, is just flat out bad. Now, if you listen to a lot of podcasts and audiobooks, these look impressive for noise canceling. But if you don't, they do seem awful in that regard. And even if you do listen to audiobooks and you're getting these for noise canceling headphones expecting it to be well, it still doesn't even sound good with just vocals. It still sounds a bit distant, but it is bearable and it works fine, which for a lot of people, for this cheap of headphones that may just want to have this in their house to not have their significant other or roommate hear what they're listening to, will do the job well. Now, finally, in my videos, I kind of like to have some quantitative way of rating things nowadays. So, I'm not going to just say they're good or bad or anything like that. I'm going to give you ratings and give you an average based off of those. Based off a few categories, and let's go through them. Comfort. These are actually below average comfort. Now, they're not horrible. They don't cause you searing pain. You can wear these for an extended period of time and not have rings on your ears or any redness to them. But they don't fully encapsulate the ear. And for over-ear headphones, that makes noise isolation not that good because there's an empty gap because it's not making full contact, so you can hear the outside more. And that means weight of the headphones is from your ear pushing against on there instead of the ear pads pushing against your skull, which isn't that comfortable. So, ever so slightly below average for comfort. Noise canceling. No other way to say it, but noise canceling on these things are bad. For a cheap pair of headphones, you could say the noise canceling is good. It's above average for cheap headphones. But in regards to just noise canceling in general, any price range, these are just bad. For the industry's competition, even $50, $100, these just aren't that good for noise canceling. It works, so it's not gonna have negative points, but it is as bad as it gets because it barely works. And even if it barely worked, I might have just put it below average. However, as I mentioned before, it ruins the audio. So, noise canceling is just bad. And also, another category, I didn't go too much in detail, is battery life. Now, they're not great. I mean, if you let them sit for a few days, they're going to lose charge over that period of time. And the voice assistant you have when it turns on, saying it's on or connected, doesn't say battery life. So there's really no good way to indicate how much you lost. Therefore, having it just sit on my wall of headphones and occasionally turn them on, listen to them for a few hours, makes my battery life testing a little imperfect and not that great. But I think for people that use them casually would be more indicative to their use. For that, these only got me about 12 hours battery life, which that's decent, that's bearable. If you're sitting over a few days and just charging it randomly, these will never run out of battery. But if you like to wear your headphones all day, one, these aren't comfortable enough for that, and two, it'll last one day. Just one. For sound, one of the most important parts, I think it's just average. Which is actually pretty high praise for headphones at $30. But I think it's barely average. I almost want to say below average, but for the sound, how they did the EQ, that theatric sound is very appealing to most people, and to the untrained ear, this sounds pretty dang good. So, for most people, these will just be average. They get the job done. For that, that's all these need to do necessarily. And they do deliver for that in particular, which is good. So the last thing I do my review on is value. Are these a good value? Not just are they cheap. I mean, you can get a pair of headphones for $3, and if they don't work, you'd have to say that's a great price. It works as a little toy, but it's not a good value. They don't work. And even for $30, that's cheap, but if they're complete garbage, it's not a good value. And you can have a very expensive pair of headphones be a good value as well for what you get. That's what I'm trying to encompass here. I don't want to say these are a groundbreaking value, like you must invest in these. If that was the case, they'd be super popular and everyone would be out to buy them. I don't think they're just average though. I do not think they're just average. I think they are above average for this. They're very solid value and they bring a lot to them. With its main problem be that noise canceling, which I can't blame too much. But again, it's not good. These are just a pair of Bluetooth headphones over ear that are available in red, yellow, and black. And I think they look pretty well. The average score is 5 out of 10 given its respective categories, which is pretty good. Anyways, thank you for watching. This is MKJR. Please subscribe. And until next time, see you later.